That's my joke, you
Svengoolie!
That's my joke, too!
No, it's not. He said Svengoolie.
No, Tokyo Svengoolie, man. I've been saying that since day one.
Son of fucking Svengoolie. It's the fucking son of Svengoolie.
Yeah, the Father, the Son, the Holy Svengoolie.
Svengoolie.
Welcome to Manga Rewind. This is episode 4, and today we're going to be reviewing volume 2. So, I'm Alex.
I'm Justin.
I'm Keith.
Alright, so on this one, we're going to be doing a recommend. What are you laughing about?
Nothing. He looks like he wants
No, here we go.
No.
Alright, so we're going to do our recommend, and I'm going to recommend a Korean pop song by Lim Kim. The song is called Awu, and it is... I know. It's got one of the sickest beats. They just listened to it, so what do you think?
It's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that beats...
Yeah.
And the chorus is just so catchy. So go out to your local YouTube and listen to the song.
Alright, so my recommendation this week is kind of a two-parter, but first, I just want to say, Cloud9, Counter-Strike, we finally fucking did it. We won a major. Fuck you. We did it.
Why are you telling fuck them? They didn't do anything.
I don't know. It felt like a fuck you moment. Anyway.
Man, they didn't do anything.
People should be excited about it.
Yeah, get excited, people.
Yeah, get excited. Alright, so anyway, the real recommendation. I've been watching a lot of, like, shitty horror movies. I love them.
I can relate to that.
And...
Can't we all?
I looked on HBO the other day, and I watched a movie called Village of the Damned.
Okay.
Which is a John Carpenter movie with Christopher Reeve's pre-wheelchair. And...
Oh, man.
What? I mean, that's Christopher Reeves. There's pre-wheelchair and post-wheelchair. No. There's only two timelines.
Man, how Superman has fallen. Well, he's dead now, so,
yeah.
You know.
So, it's got him and it's got Mark Hamill. And Mark Hamill plays a preacher who has a horrible, horrible fate.
When did this come out?
It's got to be late 80s, early 90s.
Oh, man, I gotta check this out.
Yeah, because it's got the one lady that used to do all the Jenny Craig commercials. That, Christy Alley lady.
Oh, okay.
She's in it, but she's not chunky. She's like real slim in that movie.
Okay. Alright, guys.
Oh, were you done?
Oh, sorry.
No, I got another shitty movie here
to
throw out here. So anyway, if you enjoy that masterpiece about brainwashing children who brainwash people into killing themselves, it's really fucking bad. There's another one called Maximum Overdrive. It's written by Stephen King.
No.
It's got Emilio Estevez in it, and it's about something like a meteor shower or something occurs and it fucks up the frequencies on Earth.
And the Green Goblin monster truck comes on.
All the technology just starts killing people. So like a pop machine you'll go to get a Pepsi and then you're dead. Watch it.
Hey man, isn't that the fate of drinking every Pepsi?
You're absolutely right.
Alright, Keith?
Alright, so mine is actually... I've actually been watching this again recently. I always watch it every year. Once
Teen
a
Wolf?
year. No, not Teen Wolf. I wish you wouldn't have let anybody know that. Mine is actually Spectacular Spider-Man, which only ran, sadly, for 26 episodes, I believe. It's 2 seasons, each one is 13. It's actually a really good show. A lot of people crack on the art style because it's actually like pretty simplistic, but the like simplistic art style just like allows them to do some crazy like there's some scenes in there where like Spider-Man's like dodging stuff and like doing these acrobatic moves, and it is nuts. It is just crazy. It's a delight.
Which
is that the series that Deadpool was in?
No, that's Ultimate Spider-Man.
Is that Ultimate Spider-Man?
That's the one that followed Spectacular Spider-Man.
Is it because that one's got like a bunch of heroes in it?
Yeah, they have like Moon Knight, Cloak and Dagger. That one's like just one big commercial, really, of like other characters and toys to sell.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean it's a good show in its own right. I don't know. The part with Drake Bell being Spider-Man always sits a little funny with me, but...
Alright.
I was thinking of the old Spider-Man series where...
the one from the 90s or the one from, like...
No, the one that was on MTV, like...
Oh my god,
the
that one
one
ran
with,
for,
like,
13, yeah.
Yeah, like, Neil Patrick
Patrick
Harris was
Harris.
the voice of Spider-Man.
Oh, I was not aware of this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's goofy.
That's putting it kindly.
Yeah.
Alright, well, speaking of Goofy, let's move on to the next question.
Okay.
Alright. So there's Tokyo Ghoul, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what other location do you think ghouls would be good at?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
Alright, hit us with it.
I'm gonna put this out there. I'm just gonna say Chicago.
I don't know.
Because...
Chicago Ghoul?
I guess I don't want to... Well, no, it's not even a spoiler, but the chapter in here where they go to find a dead body to, like, recover...
Stop.
Oh my god. In Chicago, they just have, like, a field day. They could just, like, pretend to be, like, paramedics or something, be like, yeah, sorry, the body didn't make it to the hospital. He didn't make it. And just, like, have their pick of the litter, and literally no one would bat an eye. They'd be like, yeah, someone else got shot
They're
and
just
died.
snatching bodies.
Yeah. They'd be like, oh, that's cool.
Alright, so we have Chicago Ghoul.
Also, it's really cold here, so, like, the bodies would be preserved outside.
Oh, there you go. You got a
It's like a
natural
fridge.
fridge.
Yeah,
Yeah, there
like
you
a
go.
fridge out here.
Yeah. Alright,
That's
Justin.
awful.
Alright, so, I'm gonna say Florida.
Florida Ghoul?
One, you got the cover of Gators. Because Gators just come out the lawn. They just come out the water, end up on your lawn. You can't leave the house for 3 days. You're dead. So you got that, and then two.
What does that have to do with ghouls?
One minute you're going to Disney World. I'm gonna go ride Space Mountain.
Yeah, the next
The
you're
next
wrestling
minute,
gators.
you disappear. You were on the ride, now you're gone because they don't turn on the fucking lights in Space Mountain. Nobody knows you're gone. So it's the perfect guys for a ghoul.
All right.
Yeah, ghoul with little mouseketeer ears.
Oh yeah.
Eating your kid.
Do you know what? I'm gonna change my answer from. I was gonna say Texas Ghoul, but now I'm gonna say Hollywood Ghoul.
Hollywood ghoul.
Hollywood Ghoul. Yeah. You know how many young, dumb actors and actresses just come in there with nothing in their pocket. No one knows they're going missing.
Yeah.
There you go. That's easy cover. And then you can dine on the rich and famous. I'm sure they taste wonderful.
That's kind of like a Harvey Weinstein sort of thing where they like taking advantage of young actors and actresses.
Yeah, well, hey, you got some social commentary. So there you go.
That's
Plot twist. What if the Church of Scientology was actually just a guys for ghouls?
Ghouls. And that cruise ship, they're
Yeah.
just kidnapping people just for food. There we go.
So actors who join Scientology, they've been hiding the fact that they were ghouls, and then they realize
Yeah.
that Scientology is actually just a front for
joke?
ghouls. Well, other than being a great joke.
What are you talking about? That is a renowned religion.
Yeah. Jason Lee practices.
Has anyone seen that movie Going Clear? Or no, it was the HBO documentary. Check it out. It's a good
With the
documentary.
lady from King of Queens?
No, I don't think Lee Remedy. I don't know if she's in it. Anyways, doesn't matter.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna say. So we have Chicago Ghoul, we have Florida Ghoul,
Yeah.
and we have
Also,
Hollywood
every
Ghoul.
crime is just done by Florida man. They don't
Oh,
they
no,
don't
the
identify.
elusive Florida man.
Yeah, so you look it up for the Florida ghoul.
All right, so let's jump into our review. All right, so then in the beginning of the volume, it starts off with these two mysterious dudes who roll into town for the 20th War, and they say they haven't been there since the ghoul incident with the owl, which isn't meaningful to you guys, I guess, right now, but is definitely bigger later on.
Right.
Because I just finished the series yesterday at the time of this
Oh,
recording.
really?
So, yeah, I just ripped through it. But, yeah, no, it's actually, pretty... I didn't notice that the first time I read it, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So, anyways, it goes to Anteku, and Yoshimura is teaching Kaneki how to make a coffee, and explains that Anteku is a place for ghouls, as well as a place for humans, and that they can study humans.
it's like Barnes and Nobles.
Yeah, you don't know who's a ghoul there, man.
Anteku's kind of like the food court at the mall. Like you got a whole bunch of different types of people, and people can sit there and people watch and analyze
Everyone's
each
just
other.
watching each other.
Yeah.
Okay, so I kind of have a problem with the whole like him talking like we use this place as like to study them. It makes them sound like aliens. It makes them sound like they're not from this planet.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't understand how humans talk to each other. And it's like, well, I mean, if you're in this world, I think you just kind of get the, like, you're just kind of up on the social cues,
Yeah.
and like, I just think that's.
I've met some weird people that
Well.
that are humans that don't understand social cues.
Well, fair enough.
So like, I can understand their point of view.
All right, you know what? Fair enough.
Because like some of the ghouls are like really tight knit, so like they've only really talk and deal with ghouls.
Yeah, that's true. Like with the mom and daughter
Yeah,
coming
I was
up.
gonna say,
Yeah,
that
that's
one
true.
character
Yeah.
coming up,
I don't know.
was
I just think the way that line came off to me, that little panel came off to me, is that they were like aliens.
I really don't like the calf in general. Actually, it just seems like it's like really preachy about
Like philosophy.
yeah, like I get it's
Yeah.
like they're like trying to convey a message, but like holy shit, it's like you can do it subtly, or you can like take a hammer and hit me upside the head with it like a bunch of times. Like I feel like right now that's kind of what it's doing.
I
Yeah.
feel like it's funny because I just finished Full Metal Alchemist with my girlfriend today. And that show conveys a lot of philosophy really subtly, and I really like that. Then I read this, and I feel like you said, I feel like I'm getting hit in the head with a hammer. It's so heavy-handed. At least now it is. I think it gets worse. I honestly, there's a gray area for the manga for me. Right
And
now.
he like the author, we've already seen it. He just throws like actual quotes from
Yeah.
people like
Right,
in there.
and it's
like
like-
it's supposed to mean something.
It's a
at
lot
the
of
moment.
hand holding in the philosophy, and it's just like, it's just let me figure this out. Just like
Yeah.
it's the classic show don't tell, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of how Devilman Crybaby was.
What with the show don't tell?
Yeah, like towards the end, it gets kind of into some philosophy. God, man, I just had an aneurysm. It gets into like some deeper meaning sort of stuff.
Yeah, right. I still need to finish that. But anyways, so then Yoshimura says, or he tells Kaneki that if anyone comes in with a suitcase or a bag, tell him about it, because they strap in gats.
You think he would just be on the lookout for that himself? I guess. You think it
I
would?
don't know, man. I think it's
Well,
pretty casual.
If he's not like on the floor all the
Okay,
time or something,
yeah.
like if he's in the back office counting the money,
And I don't know why.
smoking cigars.
Do people,
Like,
do people
you think-
count money during the day, even like before the business is closed for the night? It's like, let me
Dude, it's Mr. Krabs in the back of Antico. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why he doesn't straight up tell him, like, hey, these are ghoul investigators. They hunt you.
Yeah, like
Right.
Like, tell
yeah.
him straight up. Be like,
The one
listen, man,
time-
you're in this world. It's scary. Don't sugarcoat it at this
yeah,
point.
the one time he doesn't hit him upside the head with with the knowledge.
Yeah,
he
right.
needs.
Like,
It's
hey, by the way,
yeah.
the dudes that can kill you, don't worry about them.
When it
also-
happens, it'll happen.
Yeah, right.
Also, something here, Yoshimura makes it a point to tell Kaneki that he actually really enjoys humans.
Yeah.
Like, not just eating them. Like, he enjoys them, like, hanging out with them.
Yo, humans are friends, not food.
So
So,
that works for this.
so
Is
Hide
that from Shark
then.
Tale?
What's up?
Is that from Shark Tale?
That's from the classic Shark Tale, the classic Pixar movie
Will
Shark Tale.
Smith spit that out to Martin Lawrence.
Is
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence in Shark Tale?
I think so.
Really?
Anyways, let's get back on
Yeah,
topic.
we'll cover Shark Tale another day.
Yeah,
I
dude.
promise.
With
I'm gonna
special
make that. I'm
check
gonna
it
make
later.
That promise. Yeah, I'm
With,
gonna make that promise right now.
We're gonna get special guest Sinbad on that one.
I'm pretty sure he comes cheap. So, anyways, Hyde then comes into Anteku and thanks Toka for saving their lives from a car accident. This is like a huge cover up for what happened with what's his name?
Nishiki.
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 Yeah, right. So I would have a lot of questions about this. He just
Yeah.
kind of is like, oh yeah, I was in a car accident, whatever.
Yeah, it's
Like,
weird because
he's
he's so
very-
perceptive, but they're just like he's like, oh yeah, I was in a car accident when we weren't in a car.
Yeah,
You're
right.
like-
Well, maybe a car on the
Oh, maybe
hit him on the sidewalk
yeah.
or something.
There's a huge plot hole with this too that I'll talk about when we get there.
You know what? You know what I'd be asking is where the hell is that driver at?
Yeah,
And is he going to be paying my medical bills?
yeah.
Because I'm not getting front.
Because I'm gonna go beat him with a
Because
baseball bat.
I'm too crazy, man. I'm not doing that.
Looking to eat at Big Girl for life.
Dude, I got the insurance money.
Give me that Big Girl special. Hamburger steak.
All right, so then Hide's just hanging around, and then Toka tells Kaneki, if you boys sniffing around here, and he finds out we're ghouls, I'm gonna personally dust him.
I'm gonna fucking roast him. I'm gonna pee on him. He's dead.
Whoa, what the hell?
What?
Hold on, back up a few lines.
Yeah, let's
Let's-
manga rewind
yeah,
this line.
Yeah, because in my ghoul fanfic, the ghouls got acid pee.
Of
Of
course.
course.
No, but she's just basically just I'll fuck up his day.
Yeah, and I
Also-
know you got something to say about this.
Yeah, so when she delivers this powerful moment, she gives the shittiest side eye I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what they were thinking when they drew this side eye panel, because it's all face and there's no pupil in the eye. It's like the white of the eye. It doesn't work. It doesn't give an effect. I just laughed at it. when
Yeah,
I saw
dude,
it.
it'll come to the point where you'll see the same character on one page, but they look like different characters in each panel. Like, there was points, especially with the gourmet, when they introduced the gourmet, it gets really bad. I remember reading it, and then I'm like, oh, who's this new guy? And I was like, oh, wait a second, this is still the gourmet.
Yeah.
It gets pretty bad, man. But yeah, no, just chalk that up to the list of really bad panels. We should keep count. I know I want to keep count of the bad fights, because there's some stinkers in this.
Some stinkers.
There's a lot of stinkers in this. So then Yoshimura takes Kaneki upstairs for a little ghoul lesson. How to eat in front of humans. And Yoshimura eats in front of him, and Kaneki does the same. It's the classic bait and switch. He's like, hey man, I'm gonna eat this. Now you eat it. He's like, yeah man, no problem. And once again, he goes into a tangent about eating human food.
Oh, about how you gotta like suck. You gotta drink the food.
Well, first he freaks out that he's like, this is disgusting. What does he say? He's like, it feels like there's beetles in my mouth.
Yeah, it's some goofy ass shit.
Of course, why not? And they even comment on this.
Yeah, like,
they're
why
like,
do you always
you
gotta
could
say? What are you gonna say goofy shit like? Oh, it tastes like cow dungus. Like, what the fuck does
Dungus.
that even mean? Like, why are you saying that?
Oh,
I'm a
man.
ghoul.
You know what he should do though is he should have his own food tasting show.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm Ken Kaneki, and today I'm gonna be eating hamburgers. And then he starts hacking on this hamburger, and then his catchphrase line will be, the train has left Flavor Town.
No.
So yeah, no, and then Yoshimura tells him to drink his food, which is a really gross way to put it.
Full circle, Christopher Reeves. We're back at it.
Come here, boy, I'm gonna show you how to eat this hot dog. So anyways, Yoshi gives Kaneki a special sugar cube to suppress his appetite. He's like, hey man, what's in this? And he goes, don't worry about it.
Little sauce.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of weird.
It'll make it good.
Yeah, man. It's actually
It'll make it good.
full of ecstasy.
Oh, something else here that we kind of brushed over. Nishiki is like out of the picture right now. They bring up the fact that Nishiki's missing, and basically he's probably still alive and can come back at any moment to fuck up Kaneki's
Oh,
day.
yeah. She's like, hey, boy, watch your back, because them boy's out there with the gat.
Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed it when she said it like
Yeah,
that.
insert the...
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Hey, can you edit the gunshots in?
Yes, of course.
All right, please. Thank you.
Deagle sounds, please.
All right, so then we get an introduction to, how did you say it?
Faguchi.
Faguchi.
It's the Faguchi.
Hey, they're in The Sopranos. Did you know that?
They could be.
Tony Soprano. Tony Soprano.
Yeah,
These Japanese Italians.
We got Ryoko Faguchi and Hinami Faguchi. Ryoko is the mother and Hinami's the daughter.
Thanks, man.
You got it.
Faguchi. So then they're coming to pick up some meat because they can't hunt on their own. Because they're weak. They're weak in the streets.
I know Toka's like so, she's like so bitchy about it.
You know what? I got something to say about her. This young lady soon. She annoys me, man.
Toka?
Yeah.
She got too much sass.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get to that later. So anyways, they're coming to pick up the food, and then jumps to this ghoul tries to get the jump on the two men from the beginning, and they get straight up dusted.
Get fucked up.
Yeah, they get sliced. So it reveals that they're ghoul investigators.
From the CCG.
From the CCG. What is that again?
It is the Commission of Counter Ghoul.
Yeah, because I had to look it up.
Sounds... I'm not familiar with that Counter-Strike unit.
Man. And then we get their names. We get Amon and Mato. And Mato is a fucking googly-eyed goblin.
Yeah, he's like one step away from being a ghoul himself, goddammit.
Yeah, he is one of the grossest looking characters.
He is probably the most consistently drawn character because he's fucked up on every panel.
Yeah,
he's supposed to look fucked up. Like,
you know what? He's like, yeah, scribble here, scribble there, big eye.
You know what? Preach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get Amon, what, by the way, wildly drawn different later on.
Yeah.
He's very thin. I know he, like, later on, you get these weird scenes of him, like, working out. But, like, he is really differently drawn. Like, later on, he's very, like, built, broad shoulders, like, squared off jaw, very intense, like, dude.
Yeah.
But here, he's just is very, like, thin.
It's like the opposite of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Like, no, as the series goes on, his art style changes so differently, where it's like, the character Jotaro, he's 17 when you first meet him, and then like he's like 28 later down the line, but he looks younger just because the art style has changed so much.
Oh yeah.
And he even said like when he's like, I can't draw them the same way I used to, so you guys are just gonna have to settle.
Just deal with it.
Something I was thinking about Mato is he kind of looks like if you took the Crypt Keeper from Tales of the Crypt and just
love that show.
like
put flesh on him,
just threw some flesh on him, and it just didn't set right. So
he was in the oven too long. Dude.
Yeah, he baked him too long.
He's too long. Yeah, I don't know, man. He's a dumb looking character if you ask me. You know what I like the actor in the live action though.
Yeah.
For some reason they got the perfect actor for him.
Alright, so after the intro of the CCG, we move on to back to Anteiku, where Yoshimura tells Toka that she needs to take Kaneki to go see Uta to get a mask made.
Right, because he catches wind that the investigators are in the 20th floor.
They got intel from my boy Yomo.
Yomo.
Who is like one of my favorite designs. Actually, Uta and Yomo are probably some of my like favorite character designs.
You know what? I actually have that in my notes too. I
Yeah.
have that Uta is like, I think he's the best character design in this manga.
Yeah,
He's one of the best for sure.
Too bad he can't draw him.
Yeah.
It's really a shame.
Yeah. Right.
So Toka basically tells Kaneki like, "Hey, meet me at the train station. Don't fucking show up late, or I'm gonna beat your ass." So Kaneki shows up on time, and he's just hanging out, and he's like, "What
Isn't she the one that's late?"
Yeah. And
Yeah. Fuck her. I hate her.
I hate people who do that.
So she ends up showing up, and Kaneki's got this like whole like moment where he's kind of looking at her, and he's just like, it's kind of weird. Like, she's a ghoul, but she really like. If I didn't know any better, I would think she's just a normal girl. Well, to be honest, you did think she was a normal girl forever because you were at the coffee shop.
Yeah,
all the time.
this is what I'm talking about. It's the heavy-handedness, man.
Yeah.
It's that like we established that earlier that he thought that she was a normal person, and then surprise, she's a ghoul. That's in volume 1, right? And then he has to reiterate that by blatantly telling us this. Why? What's the point? We got it.
I get it that he's seeing the world through a different lens now, that he's got this affliction going on.
Yeah, right.
But there's got to be better ways to do it than to just look at the same characters and be like, "Oh, I didn't know they were ghoul." Like, it's like if he found out like somebody he went to school with was actually a ghoul. Like, kind of like when they find out Nishiki.
Yeah, well, that's
like,
another one, man. He talks about, hey, there's another person in plain sight that's a ghoul. He himself is a person in plain sight that is a ghoul. But he has to keep talking about it.
Yeah.
And I don't...
And that's weird, because I wouldn't have picked... I don't know. I didn't pick up on that one, I guess. That was, like, the one form of heavy-handedness that, like, kind of slipped past my mind, but... I guess
I think it's just because you're so heavily concussed from all the other beatings you've never seen.
I was just like, I didn't even pick up that he was like, oh, she's just like a normal girl. It's like, yeah, you thought that for like the first 10 chapters or whatever, like first 5 chapters. Like, what?
Yeah, right, exactly. So anyways.
So then they finally get to Uta's place, which is like super dark and like poorly lit and kind of mysterious, and they got all these like crazy masks on the
I
wall.
have like a weird connection for this.
Okay.
Do you know the like when you go to Team Rocket's hideout in Pokemon Red, like with the warp panels on the floor?
Yeah.
For some reason, when I saw this, I was like, this is probably what like Team Rocket's headquarters would look like, except instead of like masks, like maybe like different Pokemon's heads on the wall or something like that.
Big game hunters.
Yeah, like I don't know why. I thought that I was like, huh, this is what Team Rocket's like lair would look like in that game if we could get like an HD remake.
Yeah, right.
So,
you know what though? The design of his place, I think, translated really well in the live action.
Yeah.
Because I remember even seeing it in live action. I was like, this is exactly what I thought it would be. Like this dim lit, like the only lighting source you have is like neon and this like under lighting in the floor. At least that's how I remember the movie.
It's like a seedy tattoo shop.
Yeah, right.
Like,
exactly.
The anime does a good job of it too.
Yeah, I really like his this like the design of his shop. But yeah, anyways.
So this is when we get our intro into Uta, who we've kind of briefly discussed a little bit further. This is kind of wackily, like half-shaven head, dark pupil.
He's like
He's like alt. He's like an alt model.
Yeah, right.
He's just tattooed to the brim. Very, very bizarre looking character. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
He's got a very fucked up personality.
And you know what though? And this is why I think that this would have done so well in the 90s in like goth culture, especially him. Like I think he would just adhere, or like people would connect with him really well. I think goth culture would totally cling to this.
He's kind of like a design that the dude who made Invader Zim would draw.
Jonan Vasquez?
Yeah, like it kind of seems like something he would try and do.
If he did more detailed work, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could take this scene that's happening in the manga right now, cut it, and put it into Blade 2. Literally no other context, and it would still work. It would still work, and you just be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And
what if Blade showed up, man? And he says my favorite line in movie history. Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
My favorite part of Blade, oh god, in like Blade 3 when they introduced Dracula, who's like thousands of years old, Blade goes, he's like, are you ready to die, motherfucker? And then Dracula's like, motherfucker, I like that. I'm like, stop. Shut up, stop.
Oh god.
Enough of that garbage.
So Uta is kind of looking over Kaneki, and he's giving the old ghoul smell, because every character we meet has got to
give him the sniff test.
He's got to go, wow, you smell like not you.
That's like the equivalent of when dogs sniff each other's asses.
Yeah. It's every time there's a character, though, man.
You know what? First volume, finger mouth fetish.
Yeah.
Volume 2, the smell test fetish. Yeah, everyone's sniffing him, man. You smell like a woman.
Yeah. So he can smell that something's off. You know, you just like, you smell like you dropped a poo-poo, you know. I don't know.
Someone needs a diaper change.
So then Kaneki's just kind of like talking about how shit's fucked up in the 20th ward. And that everybody needs a diaper change.
Alright, I'm good.
Alright. So he's talking about how like he just thinks the 20th ward is like a fucking bloodbath zone, and
the 20th ward is peaceful.
Well, no, but Kaneki thinks that the
20th...
I'm
sorry.
Kaneki thinks that the 20th ward is like super fucked up because he's only seen a small sample size of what the ghoul world is like.
Yeah, right.
But
Uta, relative view.
Uta tells him, nah, man, 20th ward is like Disney World. Like, it's peaceful, it's fine. But like, if you go to wards 1 through 4, shit's fucked up. You're probably gonna die if you walk out your front door.
Yeah, right.
And
Crips and Bloods are everywhere, man.
And he said like 13. He mentions 13 is really fucked up too.
He says like 1 through 4 or whatever.
Yeah, 1 through 4 and 13. Those are like the main ones I remember him mentioning.
And I think and then this is where I think the some of the philosophy actually like is good. It's because it's like, hey man, your relative scope is so not right, and like right there you're good. I think you explained that he has such a small scope on the world right now.
Yeah.
And you don't need to explain any further, and that's it.
So then, at this point, they kind of just talk about, like, what Kaneki wants for his mask and all this other stuff. And Kaneki mentions that, like, he needs an eye patch because whenever he gets hungry, his eye turns red. And then he kind of asks him, Uta's like, what do you think of Toka? And Kaneki's like, I think Toka's kind of scary. And Uta's like, I think she's kind of cute. And then he just kind of, like, starts pandering all these questions about, oh, do you like older women or do you like younger women? And I just think Uta is trying to finesse Kaneki. I think he wants to fuck him.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet there's a lot of gay sex in the
ghoul
in
world.
the ghoul world.
Yeah, gay ghoul, double alliteration.
Gay ghoul. There we go.
So then they finally they keep talking about Toka and how she's so strong and she's balancing the rope between worlds, which is just like a it's kind of like comparing Kaneki's entry into the ghoul world.
Right. And this is where I hate Toka.
Yeah.
Is because Uta is explaining, he's like, hey, listen, she's got a really difficult life because she exposes herself to the human world very awful. This does not excuse your character for being an asshole. No. Nope. I'm sorry. I think that's really stupid. That's not a free pass. A lot of people have hard lives and they're nice. Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. Stop. That shit irritates the fuck out of me.
So
nope.
So then they finally explain what the purpose of the masks are, and they say that the masks are needed for if you were to get into a tussle, with a couple of CCG goons, you don't want them to be able to track down who you are.
So you ain't getting bagged and tagged.
Yeah, so you gotta wear a mask. If you're masked up, you're coming for their ice. If you're barefaced, you're coming for their life.
Yeah, I like that. But it work.
Put them in the dirt. So then we're left with this final scene in this chapter where the Fuguchis are kind of just hanging out and they're just having a really sad...
eating pasta.
They're having a big sob over the father's owl mask.
Yes. Yeah. So then we go to... Kaneki is practicing eating human food and has some choice lines again about... Or no, this... Okay, this is where he talks about the beetles in his mouth.
Yeah.
And then he talks about the ham and he feels
Ham's like a beast hide.
Yeah, beast hide. Get the fuck out of here. So then Kaneki goes to school and...
But you forgot that he drinks the sugar cube.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's like, oh, I feel like I'm leveled out.
Yeah.
Like, you set me right, man.
Man, he's just taking opioids, man. That's what that is. He's just dropping a couple pills of morphine, cool off that edge. There you go.
And then Hyde's like, you were looking like a zombie. And then Kaneki's like, a zombie, huh? I'm funny. Because I'm a ghoul.
That's a fucking knee slapper right there.
Oh, God. And, like, the look on his face, too, like, I feel like the artist is like, yeah, that's smug. Get it because he's a ghoul. Like, the look on his fucking face just makes me angry. Because, oh, boy.
We're just a bunch of hateful dudes on this podcast.
I think I'm just going to flash. I'm going to flash it. If you have this open in another browser, and you're just listening to this, but you're browsing through another tab, flip back to the YouTube tab and just look at the picture I have on screen right now. This smug motherfucker right now. A zombie? Ugh.
Alright, I just want to make one thing clear before we move forward.
Mm-hmm.
We don't hate everything.
Yeah, we don't.
We don't hate everything. We do like some stuff. No, I'm kidding.
We're just being critical.
We're just being really critical.
Yeah.
This is all for fun.
No, that panel.
No, that would.
No, if you could just see it. Oh God.
Because I like the story of Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah, definitely.
It's fun to look at it with a critical eye. So.
Yeah, of course. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah.
We are not a hateful group.
I guess it's weird for me because I gotta look at it with a critical eye, and it's my first viewing, so it's like.
Yeah, right. So, anyways, let's move forward. Let's get off of the heavy-handedness of all this. So then, Nishi's girlfriend shows up, and she gives Hyde the disc for the festival, and Kaneki starts thinking like a conspiracy theorist. He's like, is she a spy? Is he okay? When's he gonna strike?
He puts on his tinfoil hat.
Yeah,
Something, too, here about the fucking festival disc, alright? Earlier, they tell Hide that he's in a fucking car accident, and, like, he doesn't remember anything. But somehow he, like, remembers the point of the fucking disc.
Yeah.
So, like,
I don't know.
that's where things don't add up for me. Like, it's just kind of like, how do you remember, like, a quote-unquote car accident that was sold to you, but you don't remember going to get the disc?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just the weird accident thing.
Because, like,
I don't
even
know,
when
man.
people get into accidents, like, they can
They
remember,
it's,
like,
moments before.
they can remember, like,
yeah.
a lot of it up until, like, the initial, like, blackout.
Yeah, whatever.
So, yeah.
He doesn't remember.
Like I said, I'm being overly critical.
Yeah,
of this.
right. So anyways, back in Inteku, Kaneki is working, and Yoshimura comes up to him, and he's like, hey, man, I need you to go on a food run, because Toka is taking some time off for school. And he's like, I can't kill anybody.
I'd be like, the hell she is?
Well, I'm taking off, too.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then he's like, I don't want to kill anybody. And he's like, yeah, chill, kid. You don't have to kill anybody. So he's like, hey, Yomo's going to come pick you up. You guys are going on the food run. And then Yoko Ono comes.
Wow.
the
First you break up the Beatles.
Yeah.
The Beatles.
The
The
Beatles.
Beatles. Saying it for copyright. Beatles.
Can't even say their name without getting a copyright strike.
No, it's actually a post-edit. You can't hear that, but that's the handiwork of Marquise right there.
The Beatles.
The Beatles. Alright, let's just keep going. So, Yomo picks Kaneki in his initial D car, and then they go to the mountains.
This guy looks a lot like one of the characters from Devilman Crybaby, the track star.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of looks like, I don't know, he like weirdly looks like him. At least the face does.
It's weird because I was just saying, like, because I was picking up on that initial D vibe from him too. Because he like kind of reminds me of like a really more mature Takumi.
Who's Takumi?
Or Takumi. The main character?
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah, his name's Takumi.
Smooth. Hey, everybody, we know about manga.
I do not follow names with I don't know why. Or anime.
You know what? To be completely honest, sometimes I just get half invested, and I just completely gloss over
Like,
names.
it has to be one that I watch, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I could probably tell you, like, everybody's name in there. But, like, something else, like Devilman Crybaby, where I've only seen it once so far, and, like, it's only 10 episodes, so I feel like by the time you know everybody, it's over. Like,
right.
it's just done.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, I'm like halfway through, and I couldn't tell you anybody's name.
I don't know anybody's name, except for Ryu, and that's the...
I'm just bad
dude.
like that,
Yeah.
man, yeah. So anyways, they're up in the mountains, and Kaneki's like, hey, we're up pretty high. And he's like, dude, don't lean on that guardrail, it's rusted.
Would that realistically kill him, though? I feel like that's not even, like, a real big problem. Like, would that kill him? Because, like, he's like a ghoul.
Well, do you know what, though, is the art doesn't really convey, like, the distance he falls.
Oh, okay.
So I can't really get a good judgment if he'd fall. You know what, I'm going to say yes. Because even he's like, whoa, I'm still alive. Kind of thing. It's like, not a single scrape.
Yeah, but, like, he doesn't really
I don't
know. Like, I feel like he still doesn't know the extent of his own power, though.
Yeah,
Because
true.
he does that power claw as he slides down the side of the...
Oh, yeah.
Because for some reason that was easier to draw than just to have him fucking hit the ground and give him some wounds.
He used the HM rock climb.
Oh, God. Pokemon memes.
Alright.
So,
So, after Kaneki falls into this creepy-ass forest,
Takes a little tumble.
Yomo kind of does this, like, deep breath. He's like, "Ah!" Like, he, like, looks like he's about to go Super Saiyan or some shit. And he just jumps down like it's no fucking big deal. He's just a complete hard ass.
yeah, man.
And Kaneki sees the body on the ground. He's like, what the fuck is this? And it's kind of like Yomo taking him to see this dead body. It was like a really fucked up, like, anime version of Stand By Me. Like,
Yeah.
hey, like, you want to come see a dead body? Because we're going to do it.
So then Logan Paul shows up in the Suicide Forest.
Ooh.
Sorry. I had to, man. It's topical.
I might actually get rid of that.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So
it's
I don't want Logan Paul to get brand recognition. All right, everyone's gonna have to look him up now. No.
Yeah, right.
So
yeah,
then,
no, that asshole should be banned from YouTube.
He prays, and the one dude he prays for this body, which I thought was kind of. Well, maybe he's not praying. It looks like
I think he's praying.
Yeah.
I think that's actually.
Are you talking about after Kaneki can't put the body in the body bag because he's a big fucking baby?
Oh, maybe he's praying. He's like, give me the strength not to beat the shit out of this kid.
Yeah,
he's like, Lord, I know you're testing
give me the fucking strength to not kill this kid.
He's like, I know we've been beating the reader with the heavy-handedness. I don't want to beat this fucker too. I don't want to give it to him.
Yeah, his what's the things that come out of their bodies called? Yeah,
Kagune.
Yeah, his kakune is to break the fourth.
Kaguya,
yeah, his kakune is to break the fourth wall.
I don't think it's that.
Kagura.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
I think it's actually Kagune.
Whatever, doesn't matter. So, no, he prays. And so then they get in the car.
Yeah.
And they're driving away, and they see Mrs.
Ryoko Fuguchi.
Hey, Fuguchi. Hey, somebody get touch of my spaghetti.
I just saw a couple of those doves in the area.
Oh.
Also, doves is kind of like ghoul slang for CCG agents. We missed that earlier. But whenever they talk about CCG agents, they always call them doves.
Yeah, right. So then Yomo's like, yo, man, you can't be out in these streets right now. Shit's hella dangerous.
It's fucked.
And she's like, I'm sorry. I was just visiting my husband's grave. And earlier, you see her with the ghoul mask visiting the grave. So then that's what she was doing.
Yomo puts a big exclamation point next to his head, so you know that Yomo is like, she fucked up. It's a little foreshadowing for you with the exclamation point.
Yeah. But yeah, she buried the mask, and then it goes to the investigators, and they're talking about tailing Miss Fuguchi, and the investigator starts talking about morals, and Amon says, we can't crush evil with morals. We are justice. We are morality. So we quickly learn that he's insane. He's crazy. He's like, I'll stop at nothing. He's a crazy cop. He's this dude who has this weird sense of justice. So he's nuts.
Yamato also delivers that line about, fire will spread to others seeking a just world. Do you have a torch in your heart to light others' fires?
Yeah, man. That's...
What is this?
It makes him sound
this
like...
Shakespearean bullshit. Just go fucking kill a ghoul.
Yeah, right.
Get it over with.
Yeah, you don't hear cops waxing about taking down drug busts.
You're like our first real villain, and you just want to sit there and jaw jack about stupid shit. Get out there and play the goddamn game already.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, and then Amon goes and grave robs the ghoul's mask. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Man, no respect for the dead, because he's like, ghouls are
it's a ghoul.
pigs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, he's a nutbag.
So he finds number 699's mask and confirms number 723, who is Mrs. Ryoko Fuguchi.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't make any sense, because I feel like a ghoul could marry a human.
Well, we see that earlier.
Yeah.
Well, he's with that, Nishiki's with that one human girl.
That doesn't make any sense that you could just be like, no, she's a ghoul.
Yeah, right. They're just like, what evidence do you have? Oh, she was visiting the grave.
Or it could have been a friend of hers or something, what?
Yeah, right. And then they're all set for this, sting operation. It's,
The only reason they know or could sort of confirm who the mask was to, because the ghoul was probably wearing the mask when they had the battle, or I'm assuming when Mr. Fuguchi died.
Yeah.
So that would have been...
But that's another thing, though, is there's no show or tell about that. There's no real connection between there's no hard evidence there for them to. It feels like they're just jumping to conclusions here, which you probably shouldn't do as an investigator.
It's kind of like the Red Scare, dude.
Yeah,
It's like
right.
you just kind of get like a smell that something's not right. Oh, they must be a ghoul.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Which even they get into when they're talking about, I think it was actually before, when they were talking about how they have the investigators kind of just sit and watch people who they think are ghouls. Like they just kind of stand on the street and watch them, and they analyze them, and they're like, oh, number like blank 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 when I got coffee. That's kind of alarming. Keep an extra watch on him. Just because he went and got coffee.
You know what they should have? The NSA, dude. We wouldn't have this problem if we had the NSA. No.
So Mato is surprised that Amon had the balls to go and do this kind of mission by himself, because that's honestly, it is kind of a risky
He's like,
situation.
man, you got resolve, man. You get it.
Also,
they're both nuts.
Also, I have a point written down here. I already kind of talked about how Mato looks like the Crypt Keeper with like melted on flesh. I actually wrote down verbatim, Mato goofy ass Crypt Keeper panel.
When he's looking through the file cabinet?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, he is a goofy-eyed goblin. He's a googly-eyed goblin. He's insane looking. Why did he draw him like this?
I don't know.
Why did the author draw him like this?
I love it, though.
Nuts. Crazy.
So the investigators are plotting this big move now.
Yeah, they're ready for the
They're
sting.
ready to make a move on the Faguchis. They want to finish the job.
Yeah, they're taking out the family.
The Faguchis are going to be finito.
Yeah, they're taking out the Ghoul family, dude. This is the last of the family. Cut ties, dude. They got cut to the mom. I'm telling you, man. And they're laundering money in the coffee shop.
This is like Sonny at the toll booth, Godfather. We're cutting it.
We're cutting it, yeah.
We're done.
Hey, you gotta slice the eyeballs with a razor. You gotta get them really thin.
That's fucking good, fellas.
Yeah, I know. I'm just putting Italian movies.
I know.
Italian mobster movies.
I like it. So then we cut back to Taiku. Wow. And Taiku. Where Kaneki's just kind of hanging out making coffee, and he's got to go check on Hinami.
No, he was asking me to get beans. Doesn't really matter.
Oh.
He's like, hey, man, can you go get some beans? He's like, yeah, cool.
All right, so he goes to get some beans. He ends up walking in on Hinami, like, just eating, and she's got these, like, really fucked up, like...
The wide black eyes. Yeah, right. You know what my favorite thing about this panel is, though? Is if you look on her plate, she has, like, a slab of raw meat, and then she has, like, little french fries fingers, and just little french fry sides. I love it. I think it's so funny. Like, I wish, like, an eyeball meatball sub. That's what would be awesome.
So
just, like, substitute body parts with, like, looking food. We should do that. Mm-hmm. They should have a meatball Italian sub. Kaneki then freaks out when he sees her, and he runs downstairs.
The way she's drawn is remember that like old creepypasta like Squidward Suicide?
Oh yeah,
like that's kind of what she looks like.
Squidward Suicide?
Yeah, Squidward Suicide.
I'm gonna have to look that one up later.
Oh, what a classic creepypasta! I think that was the first creepypasta I've ever read, and that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
it is scary as fuck.
It's really fucking.
It is. It's a good one though.
So he walks in on her eating. The other guy's like, "Hey, you shouldn't walk in on a lady who's eating a meal. That's not cool.
Hey, you gotta learn some respect.
You gotta learn how to do that." So he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna bring her some coffee as like a hey, like I'm sorry, this is
a little apology, right?"
And Hinami, like all the other ghouls, kind of, hey,
give him a sniff test, dude.
Hey, you don't smell right.
You smell like a
And that's when Kaneki explains that he's got the soul of a human but the body of a ghoul, and he kind of breaks it down for this little girl who he shouldn't be telling this. That
yeah, man, loose lips sink ships, man.
That's a lyric from a Fall Out Boy song.
I'm sure it's been used before, but
that's like a war proverb.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of Fall Out Boy, my boys.
So then he notices that Hinami is reading Takatsuki's Monochrome Rainbow, which is like one of his favorite books from one of his favorite authors.
So he starts gushing.
Sidebar, it's the author who wrote Egg of the Black Goat.
Right.
The egg of the black goat.
The Egg of the Black Goat. So, after sitting there with her, he kind of realizes that she can't read that great, and she
All right.
completely...
I thought this was the funniest thing ever.
What?
So he's teaching her Japanese in English.
Yeah.
I thought that's really weird.
It's
Like,
really
hey, here's
fucking
this
weird.
Japanese word. By the way, it means this. Why don't you just substitute it for like English words?
Yeah.
I think it just comes off really
I
weird.
think that's more of a translation thing for
Oh,
us, though.
yeah, definitely.
Because it was probably a lot more, like, fluid in Japanese.
Right.
Because it probably makes more sense because they got, they're reading hiragana or katakana. Got
Yeah.
different stuff, so I get it. They would mess them up.
Yeah, right.
But,
So,
so Kaneki ends up giving her these reading lessons we just talked about. And in the other room, Mrs. Fuguchi is talking to Yoshimura about kind of like trying to run the game solo from now on. She's like, I don't want to like have to rely on you guys so much. And Yoshimura's like, hey, like we'll talk to Yomo. He'll show you the spots where you can play Stand By Me every other day and go find a new dead body.
please stand by me.
Um,
Who's gonna get hit by the train?
I don't know. It's a big train of hunger and emotion, and it's coming in the station.
Yo, the flavor town.
Oh,
We're leaving.
Full circle.
We're leaving it.
So then they end up leaving. The Fuguchis end up leaving.
Right.
And as they're walking down the street, it's raining, and they got this umbrella that they got from Anteiku, and it's kind of like a lovely mother-daughter moment where Hanami's explaining that Kaneki just taught her like that shu means sudden rain shower, because they got this rain going on. And as they're having this wonderful moment, Mato and Amon show up and confront the Fuguchis in a sheer moment of terror. And
I would be scared too on the side of that goblin.
yeah, if I actually met the Crypt Keeper in real life, I'd
Oh,
probably
I'm
dip.
done. I'm done. I'm leaving.
I'd dip.
Yeah, I'm leaving. I'm not dealing with that.
So then Mato explains that rain can wash away stains and the cries of a vile pig.
Woo! Heavy line.